It was the perfect Christmas morning, until my own mother slapped my daughter. And the reason why? That's the part I still can't figure out. I remember the smell of cinnamon and pine, the sound of Nat King Cole playing softly. Everything felt warm and right. We were at my parents' house. The kids, 8-year-old Ethan and 6-year-old Lily, were buzzing. Lily was a whirlwind of glitter and excitement. Ethan, my little man, was quieter, observing everything. My mom, Grandma Carole, was usually the picture of holiday cheer, big hugs, loud laughter. But this year, there was a coldness around her, a distance. I kept telling myself it was just stress. Hosting a big Christmas dinner does that to people. Lily, in her frenzy, ripped open a gift box, and a porcelain angel figurine, one of my mom's old, super fragile ones, slipped out of her small hands. I heard the smash before I saw the pieces. The music stopped. The whole room went silent. I felt a sudden, heavy wave of dread wash over me. My mother's face went white, like all the holiday cheer just drained out of her. She didn't look at the broken angel. She looked straight at Lily. And then she did it. Not a tap, a slap across Lily's cheek. The sound felt deafening in the silence. Lily didn't even cry at first. She just stood there, her eyes wide, a bright red mark blooming on her pale skin. My own heart hammered against my ribs. Thump, 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 thump. This wasn't my mother. This was a stranger. "Carole, what did you do?" I finally managed to gasp. My dad just stood by the fireplace, his face etched with something I couldn't place. Was it shock? Or was it recognition? Lily finally let out a wail, the sound shattering the peaceful morning. I rushed to her, pulling her close. "It's okay, baby, it's okay," I whispered. But it wasn't okay. Nothing about this was okay. My mom, Carole, was shaking. She stared in her hand, then at Lily, then back at the broken figurine. I didn't mean to," she mumbled. "It was an accident. I just snapped." It wasn't convincing, not one bit. "An accident?" I shot back, my voice shaking with pure betrayal and rage. "You just hit my daughter, Mom, on Christmas." The room was heavy with tension. It felt like the cold winter air had somehow snuck inside. I looked over at Ethan. He hadn't moved. My little 8-year-old, usually so sensitive, was just staring at his grandmother. He took a slow step toward the broken pieces. "Don't touch that, Ethan," I warned. But he ignored me. He knelt down, not looking at the pieces, but looking under the armchair next to where the angel fell. My dad suddenly cleared his throat, a sharp, nervous sound. Ethan reached his hand underneath. The silence was so thick, I could almost hear the distant, faint sound of a car passing outside. He pulled something out. It wasn't another piece of the angel. It was a small, tattered black and white photo. He stood up, walked right past me, and held the photograph up to his grandmother. "Grandma?" His voice was so small, so quiet, but it commanded the whole room. "Grandma? Who is this little girl?" My mom's face crumbled. She didn't look at Ethan. She looked at the photograph. It was a picture of a little girl, no older than Lily, maybe 5 or 6, standing next to a slightly broken porcelain angel. My dad took an unsteady step forward. "Ethan, give me that." My mom didn't let him get closer. She put her hand out, stopping him. Her voice was barely a whisper, a strained inner voice I'd never heard before. That's my sister Sarah, the one I told you about, the one who passed away a long time ago." I felt a chill run down my spine, even colder than the breeze coming from the slightly ajar back door. Ethan, still holding the photo, looked from his grandmother to the shattered angel. This is the same angel. And this girl? She has the same red mark on her cheek as Lily. He wasn't guessing. He wasn't making it up. The mark in the photo was faint, but it was there. My dad put his head in his hands. My mom sank onto the couch, finally sobbing, deep, gut-wrenching sobs of regret and despair. The whole story tumbled out in broken sentences. Years ago, on a Christmas morning, her mother, my grandmother, had slapped Sarah for breaking the same exact angel. Sarah had run outside, distraught. She'd been hit by a car just down the street minutes later. My mom had been carrying that guilt, that memory, that horrifying sense of déjà vu for decades. When Lily broke the angel, the shock, the old raw pain had just taken over. She wasn't seeing Lily. She was seeing Sarah. It was a real-life mystery I hadn't even known existed. A secret hidden deep inside my mother's heart. My brave little man, my 8-year-old, walked over to his grandmother. He didn't yell. He didn't even demand an apology. He just put his small hand on her shaking arm. "Grandma," he said, and I heard the hope and heartbreak in his voice. "It was just an angel. It was an accident, like you said. We can get another one. But we can't get another Sarah or another Lily. Right now, Lily needs a hug." It was a moment of true, pure, heartbreaking clarity. A child showing the adult how to forgive and how to heal. My mother looked up, seeing me, seeing Lily, really seeing us in that moment. She stood up, walked over to Lily, and wrapped her in a fierce, tearful embrace. The real Christmas miracle wasn't the gifts. It was the moment the silence of a decades-old tragedy was finally broken, not by anger, but by a little boy's overwhelming empathy. Sometimes, the person who needs the second chance the most is the one who's been carrying the most pain. If you want more stories like this, hit subscribe.